Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy, and oh boy do I really want to talk about today's topic. This video is one that has been a long time waiting, to be finally recorded and released, and I'm pretty sure by now to my more eagle-eyed subscribers, those who are actually paying attention to my content in general, you will know that I started recently playing NBA Live 19, okay? Now, the thing with NBA is that this video is actually coming out on a very interesting time because I had already pre-recorded and edited and exported and left ready, thumbnails and all, my entire playlist of NBA Live 19, and I recorded them all in one sitting, in a matter of 2 or 3 days, I believe. And I kind of like I was recording those videos at a time when I was still getting into basketball. Today I'm much more into it than that time, so like this video is coming out with me already having a good amount of knowledge of the game, but those gameplays are going to be coming out a little weird because they were recorded before. So anyway, I want to talk about the concept of basketball. For many years I lived in the United States, and I've always avoided trying to get into sports. I don't really know why. I've never really been that big of a fan, it just never really spoke to me, the same way that other things like video games did. When I moved to Brazil, I started to get into stuff like soccer, or football for those of you who live in Europe, and that was pretty much the only sport that I focused on for a while because it was a little tense, it was hard. Getting into a new sport is always a challenge, guys, because you have to get used to the rules, the regulations. There are so many different things going on, and it can actually be really frustrating at times. But then again, it's also a lot of fun when you finally get into it and you decide to support a team and all that. Today I'm going to be talking about basketball. Finally getting into the video. I'm wearing a very old basketball jersey. I don't even know what team this is, but it just says Purdue, on the front. I have no idea. It's a very old jersey. I've had it since I was a teenager. But anyway, just for the sake of the video, I wanted to wear it. So let me talk about basketball. I have been getting into it recently. There was actually a turn of events where some time ago, Kobe Bryant was accidentally killed in an accident. He wasn't really killed. He died in a helicopter. Because when I say he was killed, it's like somebody went and physically murdered him, but he died in a very tragic helicopter crash along with his daughter. And as you guys should know, Kobe Bryant was one of the best players in the history of the NBA, at least in my opinion. So when he died, it kind of sent shockwaves through, the basketball community and sports community in general, and I thought, what? I think that I'm going to start getting into this sport because I've always kind of flirted with the idea of watching basketball, It's always interested me to a certain degree where I wanted to watch it and try to understand how it works. And I used to like playing games, on video games, basketball games and consoles. A very long time ago, I recorded a gameplay of NBA 2K, I believe it was 17, one of the first gameplays I ever did for my channel back in 2017, and it was actually really interesting. It was fun, and I vowed to one day come back and do it, which I am now with NBA Live 19. And the thing is that after Kobe died, I was like, I'm gonna give this sport a chance, in his honor, in his name. And I just think it's nice, I think it's nice. And the team that I chose to support is, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers, where Kobe played. And it makes sense because they are the best team in the league right now in the NBA. They have LeBron James doing his thing, and historically they've been good. They've had players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, so I mean, it's nice. I think it's a very good team with a lot of good background and a good history within the sport, so it makes sense to support them, so it's like when I chose to support Chelsea, they were at the top of the Premier League at the time. So, and even if the Lakers decline, I'm still gonna keep supporting them. They are the team that I handpicked myself, that I chose, to honor Kobe Bryant. So, Mamba forever, man. Now let's get into the technical side of things. Basketball is a very intricate sport with many different details. I do believe even more details than soccer or football. And there are a lot of different things that can happen in the game. And it's a very pulse-pounding game. It never stops. You've got 12 4-minute quarters, and the ball is always going from one side of the court to the other. The guys are always running like crazy. There are multiple timeouts for them to chill out a little bit. And it seems a lot easier than it looks. I'm pretty sure that the guys get really tired as they're playing. And the game is always, it's moving at such a quick pace, and so many things can happen, and The dunks are amazing, the baskets, the points that they do. It's always good to see a nice little slam dunk, Michael Jordan style. Michael Jordan is who I consider to be the best player of all time, but that's a video for another day. And I actually recently watched The Last Dance docuseries on Netflix, which talks about Michael Jordan and his the Chicago Bulls dynasty in the late 80s and early to mid 90s, you know, where they won 6 NBA championships. And I'm going to be reviewing that later too. So the point is that after watching this documentary, it cemented my admiration for this sport even more, you know. And as the time went by, I started learning more and more about it. So right now, at the time of recording this video, I actually have a pretty good amount of knowledge regarding the sport, but not when I recorded the NBA gameplay, so it's gonna come out a little strange, you know, like a little out of its time. But anyway, I've picked up on how the rules work, you know, like FGM, it stands for field goals made. I didn't know that while I was recording the videos, you know, rebounds, points, assists, all of these technical terms, you know, I've been picking up on it slowly as the days have gone by. I've been playing a lot of NBA Live on my Xbox One. I've been watching as many games as I can. The problem is that NBA here in Brazil, because of the time zone, there's a difference. Like, for example, a game might happen in the early evening or late at night in the United States, but here it's going to be really late at night, you know. Sometimes there's a game that starts here where I live. It starts at I think midnight, you know, and ends at like 1 a.m. or something, or it starts at 1 a.m. You know, it's crazy, you know. And I have a job, guys. I actually I have, well, technically 2 different jobs if you wanna look at it that way. But I work 148 hours per month, you know, so it's really crazy. My schedule is very hectic, so I unfortunately don't really have time to watch the games, especially because they're so late at night. So it's very hard to follow basketball here where I live, you know. I end up just catching replays of the games from the night before, or I can go on YouTube, you know. I have been binge watching a lot of NBA videos on YouTube, on the actual NBA channel, on WatchMojo, you know, on this channel called Nonstop Sports, you know. It's really cool. And in my opinion, I'm actually going to I'm gonna leave a link to those 3 channels in the description below, so you guys can go check them out, you know. But anyway, the point is that I don't know. There's just something about basketball that really draws my attention. You know, as somebody who grew up in the United States and never really got I had a lot of opportunities, but I never really had the interest to pursue watching basketball, and I do regret it today. You know, there are a lot of people back in my youth who told me that I should have played basketball. I should have tried to get into professional basketball, you know, because I was very tall, and I did play occasionally, you know, on the court at school with my friends, you know, after class. So I mean, I guess if I had gotten more into it then, maybe I could have even become an NBA player, you know. But I don't know, guys. I mean, I think everything happens for a reason, you know, but it does make me feel even more connected to American culture now that I finally got into a sport that's very popular over there. I'm pretty sure it's the most popular sport in the United States, unless you count American football, but that really depends on your point of view. I don't know if the NBA or the NFL, like which ones actually give more money, more revenue. If the NBA finals are more watched than the NFL Super Bowl. I know that NBA does draw a lot of celebrities. It's very common to see famous people, singers and actors and whatnot, you know, watching games there live and asking for photos and autographs of really big players. Like back in the day, Leonardo DiCaprio back in the 90s, he actually went to a Chicago Bulls game and got an autograph from Michael Jordan. Just to show you guys how big this dude was, you know, both literally because he was tall and also figuratively because he was the best in the game. Now, the thing with basketball is that it's a very cool sport, in my opinion. You know, I'm so sad that it took me so long to get into it. After I've pretty much mastered how soccer or football works, you know, like it's like, well, it's time to get into something different. You know, it's time to understand basketball. I have a cousin who loves this sport to death. He is addicted to it, and of course, he's been giving me a lot of tips, and he's been explaining to me a lot about how things work in this sport. You know, he's been enjoying my NBA Live 19 gameplays. It's been really good to get his feedback on that specifically. So in my opinion, guys, I mean, there's a lot to be explored. There's a lot of territory to be explored when you start watching a new sport, you know, and I can't wait to buy my Lakers jersey. I'm definitely gonna get a pair of that, you know, a shirt and some shorts, you know. The Lakers jerseys are very beautiful in my opinion. You know, the association uniforms are always white for every team, but the Lakers have their trademark yellow uniform and then their purple one. I don't even know which one is better. I like them both a lot. And it's nice to see LeBron James, who is pretty much the modern day Michael Jordan. Let me phrase that a little differently. Nobody will ever come close to Michael Jordan. You know, even if LeBron is probably going to finish his career with more points than Michael Jordan had, I mean, the guy was amazing. That Michael Jordan was a beast. You know, I'm gonna dedicate an entire video later just to him. But you can't deny that LeBron is freaking awesome. You know, and because he's still active, he has a lot more room to gain more titles than win more titles than Michael. You know, WatchMojo actually did a video some time ago. I'm gonna leave a link to it here, comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron James, like a little versus thing. It was really cool, and I think that it's gonna be really enjoyable, especially if you like basketball. So go and watch it. And even though this list made LeBron James out to be the superior, I still prefer Michael Jordan. I think everyone does. There's no doubt that he really was the best player who ever played. But still, you can't just completely disregard players like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or Stephen Curry, who's still playing right now, and other monsters from back in the day like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, you know, and also Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, you know, Magic Johnson. You can't just ignore these guys, you know. Like, they definitely deserve a list close to Michael Jordan, you know, even if Jordan is like whoever the second best is in your opinion, Michael Jordan is definitely several thousand stories above the second best. But still, it was Jordan, man. It was Jordan. But all of these I'm going to leave for another video. I'm definitely going to be doing a top 10 best basketball players ever, you know, in my opinion. So anyway, I think that's it, guys. I think that's just the way it is, you know. That's how it is, you know. And that's it for this video. I think I don't really think there's much I can talk about unless I start getting into too much detail, and it's going to get into a very long video. And I'm trying to keep my vlogs short lately, you know, so you guys have less stuff to watch and it doesn't get too tiring, you know. But anyway, I think that's it for today. I'm going to be recording the same way that I recorded a series of videos talking about dinosaurs because I was playing Jurassic World Evolution. You can bet on me recording a series of videos talking about basketball now that I'm playing NBA. So I hope you guys stick around, because especially if you like basketball, if you do, I'm really excited to share the upcoming content with you. And if you don't, maybe I can make you get into the sport just by watching my videos, huh? That's definitely going to be cool. But anyway, I think that's it, guys. I think that's all I can say for now. So I'm going to leave it at that, okay? This is Chazzy signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. And I hope you all welcome me into the NBA fan base with open arms.